Good morning. It's July the 10th, and this is the beginning of my Adobe brick oven project. So I'm going to videotape this as I go through the various stages. I think it's going to take me a few weeks. But first part here is I've got my gear laid out, rototiller, table saw, shovels, wagons, axes, yada yada, and I've chosen the site for my Adobe oven, which is back here by Mom's gardening area. It's going to be there, just on the other side of this wagon, next to this pile of bricks. And up above, there's about 12 feet of open air space, which I hope is going to be enough and not cause a conflict. The first thing I've got to do is I'm going to build a brick patio, on top of which I'm going to build up a plywood box about this high, and cover that with firebrick, and then build the oven on top of that. So my first task here is to level out this area for the brick patio. And of course I've got tree roots and rock-hard Adobe soil, but the patio's got to be level. So I've kind of roughly rototilled this. You can see Elron is helping out here as the Inspector General. So I've got this roughly staked out here, and now I'm going to lay in some bricks. I'm going to use these ratty old pavers that have been kicking around our house for years, and my only goal here is to put one row all the way around the edge. I don't need any more than that. Okay, so here's a progress report after a couple of hours. This is the basic idea, and I'm gonna... Alright, so here's the roughed out patio, and it's pretty much level. It may need a little tapping here and there, but it's pretty much level in all directions. And so the plan is to put a plywood box on that. So here's the finished patio. You can see that it's staked on the outside and on the inside, and then braced in a sort of half-assed fashion on the inside, just to keep the bricks from moving around. I don't think it's going to be an issue. I think there's going to end up being probably 700 or 800 pounds of weight on top of all this, and I think that gravity will hold things together. Okay, so I built the platform, and then I've got the basic box in. It's just tacked together at this point. And while I was building this box, I got to use this really incredible tool, which I'll bring up close.
I can zoom.
This is a carpenter's scribe, and
turn it sideways.
This came from Grandpa, and he got it from either his father or his grandfather. It's very old. I think it's 100 years old or so. And it's used to draw a straight line, to scribe a straight line, which I've done on the inside of this all the way around, because I'm going to build a shelf right up to that point. So this is an easy way to build to scribe an even line around a box like this. Very unusual tool. I'm tickled pink to be able to use it. I've never been able to use it before. This is the finished bottom part of the platform. The patio is built, and we've got the box, and then you can see the internal bracing here for the lower shelf. So this will hold some wood, which you'll see in a second, that on top of which I'm going to put a 6-inch layer of dirt. Those diagonal pieces are bracing in a sort of futile attempt to make this box absolutely square. It's pretty close, but not quite. Anyway. Alright, so here's the internal shelf there. That is, except for one piece, the last of the old 60-year-old fencing. And now I'm going to find 6 inches of dirt to pile in there to act as a heat sink beneath the stove. chamos. So here we are, day 3 on the Adobe oven project. Now here I've got my box filled with dirt, and I've tamped it down, and now I've got to probably tamp it a little bit more and maybe get rid of some of the dirt in here, because the idea, this is 6 inches of dirt, and then these boards will fit on top of it, and they cover the whole space, but I have to have about a 1/4 of an inch at the top on which to put mortar for the fire brick. So anyway, I may have a little bit more tamping to do, maybe even wet down this dirt slightly to increase the tamping. The dirt acts as a heat sink. It absorbs the heat from the bottom of the Adobe oven, so that after the fire is gone and you put the meat in, that the heat comes up from above as well as from on all sides, which is what makes it such a effective means of cooking. So this sucker's not going anywhere for the moment. Here's the completed square box. It's got its layer of packed dirt in it, and I've got the plywood top on it, but there's a 3/8 of an inch margin from the top, which I left there in order to allow me to put down a coat of mortar on which to lay the fire brick when I get that later today. And then down here, here's some sheet metal that I found out behind the barn that I'm going to cut and piece together under the center part of the box, just to provide a little bit of fire protection right directly beneath where the hottest part of the oven will be. So last night I had the thought that maybe I should just stop right here and not build an oven on top of this sacred spot at all, but rather just paint this big square box black and get some shoe polish and shine up one corner of it, and call it the holiest place in all of Islam. Okay, so here's the sheet metal in place, just tacked down there, and then the next step is to lay a layer of mortar on top of that and up to the edge of the box, and then I'm going to lay these fire brick on top of that mortar and make sure it's all level and whatnot. Here's the fire brick. About 60% of it is mortared in place now. Alright, here we are a couple of hours later, with the fire brick all cemented in place. So it's resting on top of about roughly a 1/2 inch of mortar all across the bottom, and it's level in both directions and sort of square as anything that I build, and ready now, after it dries for a full day or so, ready for me to start the construction using the Adobe bricks that I built last year.